heroes and villains, welcome to Multiverse. Just a little update for Save the Universe. Sadly, it seems there are a few bugs. The first one is apparently the Save the Universe weekly is bugged. And there's something I read on the forum, so I'm not sure about that. I guess for the weekly, what they meant was for the weekly Omnibus missions. We get the mission from the Save the Universe Amazon tab. Although when we do select the mission, for the difficulty, we can select the Omnibus difficulty, so maybe that is what is meant. Maybe people played the Omnibus version, and somehow it did not count towards their Omnibus weekly. It's all I can think of at this point. I don't know if it is intended. I don't know if the Save the Universe missions are supposed to count for the Omnibus missions here. Even though the difficulty is labeled as Omnibus, I don't think it is supposed to count towards the Omnibus weekly, but I could be mistaken. Again, if we do get a hotfix, they'll probably mention that. But there's one thing I'm sure about. If we go into the Feats, if we go to Save the Universe, I played the Elite Alert yesterday, I don't know, 4 or 5 times maybe, and sadly, the feat counter doesn't seem to work. So if you've been playing the Save the Universe missions, and you still needed some of those feats, sadly, these feats do not seem to work right now. I hope it might be fixed today, but I did not see anything on the forums about a hotfix possibly today. So anyway, so in case you guys really care about those feats, you might as well wait before you play those missions. Which is a bit sad because yesterday there was a lot of people who did seem to be willing to play the Elite version of the mission. So we were able to play it at least a handful of times. I was able to play it enough so that I was able to get 2 pieces of the enhanced Fallen God style. If you play Save the Universe Gods and Monster, so just yesterday I was able to raise my renown to 1800. Which is why I was able to purchase 2 pieces of gear. So if you still need some renowns for Champions of Olympus, this event will be a good opportunity to be able to raise your renown. Also, I read on the forums about the price of the gear not being quite the right price. Let's go find out. Although I don't recall if there is a feat when you actually purchase the whole style that actually gives you a discount. So it could be that there is no discount for this gear, especially considering that there's an elite set of gear that you can purchase. And it's as good as the latest gear we have, other than the Omnipotence gear. For example, I have the Omnipotence headpiece, and you can see it is much better than the elite piece of gear we have. The same for the Omnipotence chest piece. For the Omnipotence back piece, you decide. The guitar is still pretty good, but obviously some of the stats of the elite gear are a little bit better. So we'll not have to purchase the full monitor gear, just a few pieces that are not Omnipotence items. For example, for the chest piece I have is a combat rating 382, so it is going to be the best chest piece in the game, at least for a while. So the only thing I can say for sure is that the feat counter doesn't seem to work. For the Omnibus Weekly, I'm not sure if it's a bug or if it is intended that way, that it's not supposed to count for the weekly missions. And the same for the gear. I don't think we had the feat to purchase the monitor gear at half price in the previous years, so I'm not sure why we would have it this year. So for the feat counter, before you play the Elite raid, you may want to wait a couple of days to see if they are going to fix it. For the Alert and the Duo, even if the feat counter doesn't work, there's no reason not to play those missions. You are still going to get the rewards from those missions. Hopefully they will fix the feat counter today. Otherwise, someone may have to do some overtime this weekend, or maybe we will have to wait until Monday before it actually gets fixed. We're gonna have to wait and see for that. I didn't see any notes on the forums saying that it was going to be fixed today. Hopefully, it will be fixed today. At this point, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. And I guess one more thing. Also, in my previous Save the Universe video, we had different time capsules on the vendor. The time capsule that Rip Hunter is selling right now is the unlocked Shazam time capsule and the unlocked Kryptonian General time capsule. So this year we do have some new rewards, but there's also the rewards from the previous years. So if there are some rewards from the previous years that you did not purchase for whatever reason, this will be a good opportunity to be able to get those. Also, I often see people who ask about the Time Hunter gloves. So you will be able to purchase the Time Hunter gloves. We'll even be able to upgrade them in order to be able to get the enhanced version of the gloves. Sadly, here you can see the gloves are item level 292. And even if you upgrade them to the max rank, they're only item level 317. And the only reason to upgrade them is to get the enhanced version of the Time Hunter style. So here you can see the Time Hunter gloves. and you can see the enhanced version. So at this point, upgrading the gloves, all it will really do is that it will grant you the enhanced version of the style. So there you go guys, so Save the Universe is here. Sadly the feat counter doesn't work. Although for the Omnibus Weekly, I don't think it is supposed to count towards the Omnibus Weekly. And getting the gear half price, I don't think that is supposed to be that way either. So the only real bug seems to be the feat counter, but I could be mistaken. So we should expect a hotfix in order to be able to fix the feat counter issue. Again, will we get it today or Monday? I have no idea at this point. If I get more information about that, I'll let you guys know about it. And again, if you need the Fallen God style Elite, this week should be a good opportunity to play and replay the Elite version of the raid, so that you can raise your renown to be able to purchase the gear. I guess one more thing. For those who may not know, in order to get the gear, you have to go to Typhon's Monster Invasion. I just realized some of you may not have a teleporter, so you can see our friend Tempest Reginot smack in the middle of the House of Legends. There's this big machine behind him. It can take you anywhere you want to go. So if you go to tiers 3 and 4, you will see Typhon's Monster Invasion. If you are a hero, there's this lady over here that sells some equipment and supplies. There's a similar lady at the other end of the map if you are an evil villain. And that is where you can get the gear. So here you can see the regular version of the gear, and you can see the elite version of the gear. So as you can see, in order to be able to purchase the elite version, you have to raise your renown. So right now there do seems to be some people, quite a few people willing to run the God of Monsters elite mission. So I would strongly suggest run that mission now while you can.